Hello and welcome. Janet Beckers here, and it's great to welcome you to this episode of Romance Your Tribe Radio. Today's episode is for you. If you have ever enrolled somebody into a program that you are offering that is for you a higher priced program, we'll go into this in detail in a minute, actually what that is. But if for you it's a higher price program, you've enrolled the client in there, they're going to be fantastic. You know you're a great match. But then, not very long after, it could be a couple of days, it could be a week or two, or even a little bit longer, and they come to you and say, look, it's just not right for me. I'd love to change my mind, maybe a little bit later. Whatever it is that they're giving as their reason, they've decided to pull out. And yet you know that they are perfect for your program and you are perfect for them. How frustrating is that? If you have ever had that, or one of the reasons why you may not be offering a higher price program is because you're really concerned about that and what to do about it, well, I have got some help for you to do today. So today we're going to have a look at what does actually a higher price program look like where you're going to get this situation coming up absolutely regularly. Very, very common. So what sort of programs tend to cause this problem? Then we're going to have a look at what do you do when that situation happens? So why does it happen in the first place? And once we know why it happens, then what can you do to prevent it ever happening again? And what you can do when you have a client now that comes up with that situation. So that's what we're going to be covering in today's episode. And I've got a really, really cool bonus for you that's going to actually demonstrate exactly what I'm advising you to do. So stay tuned and we'll go through all of that, and then I'll show you how to be able to get that bonus. All right. So first of all, let's start with what is a higher priced program. Now, one of the things that I do when I start working with my clients is if they are already at the moment working on an hourly rate, or they might be working on people come and they might have one session with them or one consultation, and then each time you need to upsell them into the next one. Like, will we make a booking now? Or you're going, okay, well, you're going to get 5 hours work for this much per hour. So if you're working on an hourly rate, or you're always having to remake the sale every time somebody books in, one of the first things that I will do with you is help you to work out what you're already doing, and let's package it so that we're going to make it into a higher price program that includes the amount of resources or time that is going to help the client the most. This is number one. When you're creating these packages, when you're bundling together what you do for people, your number one thing is what's going to get the best results for the clients. So if it's going to be that they need to be having a 6-week series, or they need to have this amount of time with you plus some extra resources that you have, or whatever it is that you do, then working out one of those packages is one of the first things that we do. Now, so you might have been, say, charging $50 an hour, $100 an hour, $200 an hour, $3, $4, $5, whatever your hourly rate has been. Now you're changing it, and you may be saying to people, well, we don't work on an hourly rate. The best results I get for you is X program, and that's going to cost you $500, $1,000, $2, $5, $10, $20, whatever it is that's going to work out best for your clients, and packaging it together. So there are different numbers that you are talking to people about. So when I'm talking about a higher price program, it's high priced for what you are normally charging because you are bundling together to get the best results for your clients. So these are the sort of programs we're talking about at the moment. So for example, one of the members of my Rising Stars program, this came up just this week because she had really increased the number of her sales. She had surpassed what she had set as her goal for new clients, which is so exciting. And one of the reasons was her marketing that we were doing, but also because she had bundled, she created packages, so it was obvious to people what the advantage was, what the outcome was they would get from working with her for a set amount of time. Really, really exciting. A week later, there was a disappointment of, you know what? This one product, she contacted me and she's kind of backed out. She's kind of thinking it's not right for her at the moment. But I know that this is perfect for her. And, she's not going to get the results if she doesn't do it. Again, it's coming back to what's best for the client. So this is really common. So this is a little bit of a summary of the advice I was able to give her, and we had a discussion on our weekly huddle. So I'll give you a rundown on what it is that causes this problem and what you can do, and then I'll tell you about the bonus. So why do you get this problem when you've done this beautiful sales conversion now, and then somebody backs out? Now, if you have been ethical in the way that you have converted that person to a sale, then you know that they and you are a perfect match. By ethical, I mean that you're not putting on a hard sell where you're manipulating them into making a decision that you know is not right for them. Or it's, you're being driven by, I want to make this sale because I need the money, and they may not be the right person for it. So if you've been doing it in an ethical way where they have made an informed decision, you know who they are, and you know that this is going to be a great match, well then the reason why they're asking for a refund or backing out is very unlikely to be because what you're offering them is a wrong match, or they never had the money in the first place, because you've already covered all of that with them. So that's not usually going to be the reason. It's going to be something deeper, and this is what it is. It will usually fall into two things. The first thing is, as soon as they hand over that money, one thing they're going to feel is what I call scare-sighted. Scare-sighted is when you're really, really moving out of your comfort zone. You feel scared because this is something you haven't had to do before. It's stretching you on beyond what you normally do. It's maybe stretching you on, investing in yourself, in something that's going to be, whatever it is. I'm not quite sure what service or products that you provide, but think about your clients. They're getting scare-sighted because this is something bigger for them. The other side of scare-sighted is they're moving out of their comfort zone, but they're excited. They're scared, but they're excited because they know that this is going to help them. They know this is going to get them the results they want. So they're excited about that, but scared at the same time. Now, that can be one of the reasons why they back out, because if you've got scared and you're excited, the scared part may overtake. And that's when they start thinking, oh, good grief, what have I done? I've just spent all this money. I'm scared stiff. This is really moving me out of my comfort zone. Maybe it's not right now. Maybe I should do it later, blah, 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 blah. That's what will be going through their mind. Now, the flip side of scare-sighted is, sure, they're moving out of their comfort zone and they're excited about it. The flip side of that is then, if they're moving out of their comfort zone, if them getting the results that they want to get from your program is resulting in them having to back themselves because they're going to have to do the work. They might, even if it's something that you may not think is actually them having to do the work, such as coaching or something to do with their health, it might be that they've signed up to get a website done. But hey, this website's going to be about them and their business. So they're backing themselves. So this side here, the other voice that's going to come up for them is, who do I think I am? How do I know that I am capable of doing this? They're doubting themselves, and they will be having that kind of, who am I? So these are usually the main two reasons why somebody is going to back out quite quickly. When you've already gone through an ethical sales process where you know that they are a good match, they know all about the program, they know that you can get the results, they've already confirmed that they can afford it. So these are the things that's mainly going to result in them backing out. So I'm just having a look here at my notes here. So now let's look at what do you need to do to prevent people pulling out, because I'd like you to know that if this happens to you, don't go beating yourself up, okay? It doesn't mean that they decided that they don't think you're any good, or you were totally wrong, or you were charging too much, whatever it is. This is a really, really normal thing to happen, okay? So, and because it's a really normal thing, there are strategies that are proven to prevent it happening. So this is what they are. Number one is when you're doing your sales process, once they've confirmed that they're in the program, you need to say to them, hey, let's talk about imagining what it's going to be like when you start. These are going to be the first things we're going to do, and I want to let you know that there is going to be very likely, not very long after you've actually enrolled in this program, that you're going to get some kind of what we call buyer's remorse. Something where you're going to go, whoa, what have I done? And you can describe to them what scarce-sighted looks and feels like, and what the flip side of who do I think I am looks like. So let them know, hey, just know, I understand it, this is very likely going to happen, and I'm just warning you so you can be prepared and know that that is really normal, and I am here for you, and it's a normal part of the process. So do that actually on the sales call. Now, if you don't do it on the sales call, or in addition, what you can do is as soon as they have joined, you can be providing them with the same information about what they can expect to be feeling as soon as they have signed up. So for example, you might do a video like I'm doing now, telling them, hey, I'm so excited you're here. Now, in my experience, this could be one of the things that's going through your mind at the moment, and describe to them the scarce-sighted and the flip side, so that they're knowing that. Now, you might do that in video, you might do that in email, you might do that in whatever format's going to work for you, but you can do it once and have it automated so that you know that every single person's going to get that message and you haven't missed out. So this is what you can do to prevent this happening. Now, the other thing that you can do to prevent it is there are going to be key milestones through your contact with a client where this is going to come up again. So it's not as if you've just, yep, we've talked about this once and it's over. Because humans, this is the way we think. Every time you get pushed further out of your comfort zone, there's a shrinking back. And there can be a side of, oh, this doesn't feel right, I'm scared, I think I better go. Or the spirits are telling me that this is not right. It's actually you're scared, okay? So very often the points that you're going to find this with clients when you're enrolling them in a program will be, first off, and then the next one is once there has been some kind of activity that is requiring them to move out of their comfort zone or to put in some work. So depending on what it is that you're doing, just be aware that once you do an activity that's going to move them out of their comfort zone, you have to revisit them again and say, hey, how are you feeling after that? It's really normal for you to either feel a little bit scared, a little bit scarce-sighted, or maybe a bit overwhelmed. Just know it's okay, and that's what I'm here for. So it doesn't matter if you're there, what you'll be doing with them goes for a few weeks or whether it goes for a year or a few years. Doesn't really matter. As soon as they have one big action point where that moves them out of their comfort zone, that's going to happen. In a 12-month program, that will usually again happen at the 3-month level because they've been doing a lot of stuff and now they're going to go, oh, can I keep this going? So no, if you've got a 12-month program, it's going to happen at 3 months as well. And then you'll have other touch points. So I hope those ones help you. That do something on the actual sales process after they've said that they're going to join the program. Then as soon as they join, have something there that also talks to them and acknowledges. And then the other thing is be aware of some touch points throughout your program where this may come up again. And you can remind them back, remember how I said this was going to happen? Here it is. So these are great ways for you to prevent that. If you haven't done that yet, and you get a client that's coming to you saying, oh, look, I just don't think it's right at the moment. I'm having doubts, those sorts of things, is be honest with them saying, you know what, this is really, really common, not just with me and what I do with people, but it's really common across the board, across all industries. And just explain to them then about the scarce-sighted and then say, so a big part of this is moving out of your comfort zone and also backing yourself. How are you feeling? What's moving you out of your comfort zone with this? And remember, when you invested in this program, you were backing yourself. So don't forget to keep on backing yourself because you're worth it, or your results are going to be worth it. So that's what you can be doing right now. Now, I have as a bonus for you something that I know will really help you when you're putting this into process is I have down there for you, there should be some links down there you can click to sign up to give us your email so that you can access a special bonus, which is I'm actually going to share with you the video that I have given to my Rising Stars coaching clients. So that's my group coaching clients where they actually work really closely with me, and they have a good investment to get in there. So without fail, they're going to get these feelings as soon as they've joined. So I'm actually going to share with you this video that is normally only very privately kept for them. And it only goes for 11 minutes, and you can watch that and see how I've covered each of these points. And then I also have an extra thing that's in there that you will see in that video, because I also have some activities that you can give people that will then help them to move beyond the scare-sighted, help them to move beyond doubting themselves. And so you'll hear me introduce those at the end of that video. And so my hope for you is that you can get some ideas from that video to be able to model and to be able to adapt to use to create a video for when people first join you that you can send them. So hopefully that will shortcut you taking action, and you can get a little sneak behind the scenes of what it's like to work with me closely. So you've got the links down below there. As soon as you sign up there, you'll get the emails, and it'll take you straight to where you can get that video and you can download it and just pull it apart and see how it works. So that's the end of today's podcast episode. I really do hope that this has helped you. If you are transitioning from offering just an hourly rate, or transitioning from selling an appointment after an appointment, I do encourage you to now look at being able to create packages, because it's going to be best for the client and it's going to be best for you. And that's one of the things that I specialize in, really helping people. I love doing this, coming up with those packages. So I really encourage you to do that. If you're doing that and then you're wanting to make sure that you retain as many of those sales as possible, you should have about 100% rate, is, once they've converted, if you've done the sales process properly, that they should be staying. So this is going to help you with that. And so I would love to hear from you. Have you had this issue before? Just share them down below so people know that they're not alone. And if you have some tips for other people that are watching or listening to this podcast, please leave them down below here on the blog page, and help as many other people who are here. Now, if you're listening to this on iTunes or one of our podcasts where you're listening to the audio version, there'll be a link there for you to be able to go to the page where this video is, this episode is, and you can watch this in video, so you can see me talking to you, and you can also see some links down below for you to get resources and some action steps that you can be taking. If you are watching this on Facebook, or if you're watching it over on YouTube, wherever it is, come back over to the blog as well, and you can leave your comments and get those extra resources. So really looking forward to hearing from you. And please, if you implement this and you have some success, nothing is more rewarding for me than to hear from you, to know that what I've been sharing with you and the time I take to do this is helping you to get results. Okay, bye. Go get them, folks.